Well, congratulations on the film.
Thank you.
I watched it earlier, and it is, well, I will continue to echo how fantastic it is. So congratulations. I just wondered for you guys, wanted to start with kind of your how you've taken to the reactions of people, because see people from Sundance and through the US release, people seem to have really taken to it. Maybe Sidney, I'll start with you, and just how have you gauged the reaction, and how happy are you that people have kind of responded to the film so far?
I guess I can just say I'm pretty ecstatic that it's been getting such warm reception, and that it's been reaching people, and touching them in a way that seems like they're really empathizing with it.
Yeah, how I was going to ask you guys about Sundance. I mean, how was the experience of Sundance? Because I can imagine it's fantastic to take a film to Sundance, but to be in that environment with all these amazing kind of indie filmmakers, that must be so rewarding for you all guys to all kind of be in it together, and to show your films to audiences, really kind of respond to this kind of film. Talia, maybe I'll start with you.
Yeah, I mean, Sundance was incredible. Getting to meet other filmmakers and actors, people and peers that I've looked up to was really cool. I didn't really know what to expect. It was a little overwhelming, but it was a really special experience, and I was lucky enough to get to see a couple films while I was there too.
Sidney, how was it? How was Sundance for you? I mean, it's such a great platform for indie films anyway, but I can imagine that for you guys and your first film, it must have been quite a bit of a blur, but also quite a rewarding experience.
Yeah, I mean, the experience was definitely like a whirlwind, like, because we were so busy, but oh my gosh, it was like the whole thing overall was just really beautiful. It was just the environment in general, being in Utah, and it was just just so interesting, and getting to see just meeting so many people. It was like hard to process sometimes, but I'm just really grateful that I got to have that opportunity, because I don't think I think it's a rare opportunity for someone like me.
Let me just ask you both about how you got involved with the film. I know obviously this is very early in your careers, but maybe Sidney, I'll start with you. This is obviously your first film. I wondered what it was about this particular script over maybe other scripts that you've read that you kind of responded to, and what was it about this character that made you want to be a part of it?
Yeah, well, I mean, I guess personally for me, I had never been in anything. I've never acted before. I wasn't pursuing acting. I was living in Buffalo, working at a grocery store, when I played in a band, and I had met Eliza really briefly when her partner Scott Cummings was making a film in Buffalo when I was 14, and we met in passing, and they added me on Facebook and followed me over the years and watched my videos that I would post to be playing music, and I guess they just became interested in me, and they reached out to me to audition for the film when I was 20, and I at first was quite a little hesitant because I had never acted before, but then I kind of I Skyped with Eliza, and she sent me the script, and after reading the script, I was really drawn to the story and how powerful it was, and I thought, after discussing it with some friends and my roommates, I ended up deciding that it could be a really great opportunity and a good challenge, and I thought it was a risk worth taking, and I'm just really, really glad that I made that decision.
Talia, I can imagine it was the same for you. Was it a long process for you to get involved, and did you kind of immediately respond to the script and also to the characters and this amazing friendship that they have?
Yeah, I mean, I had a more traditional, I guess, audition experience. I had been an actor before on stage productions. I had never done any film, and I got the audition and was really excited because of the subject matter. It had been something that I was passionate about, and seeing the script and seeing Eliza's depiction of female friendship and female solidarity, I was really intrigued, because you don't see a lot of stories like that. So
yeah, there's a real kind of, obviously there's a bit of a gritty edge to it because of the subject matter and you guys, but in terms of your friendship, I mean, it feels like there's no kind of the opposite of what a teenage rom-com, teenage comedy would kind of be, where these guys are all doing stuff around high school, whereas you guys are kind of so enamored with each other, and there's such a great friendship. Was that an easy thing for you guys to bring to the screen together? Did it take a lot of work, or did you guys kind of click immediately, and it just kind of replicated itself when you were making the film?
I'd say it was probably a mix of both. I mean, we only knew each other for a few days before we started shooting. So Eliza did have like a few little icebreaker sort of exercises that we did, but at the same time, I feel like we also kind of, I don't know, we just really vibed with each other really quick, and I just came to like Talia a lot really fast. I don't know, I just felt like I knew her for so long, and I just, I consider her a real friend, and I guess that just kind of translated so well on screen.
Was it the same for you, Talia, that it seemed like you guys almost immediately when you're watching the film, you guys really bring this friendship to life? I can imagine, was that kind of the similar experience in real life, that you kind of immediately clicked and you were able to maybe do things that you perhaps maybe wouldn't have been able to do with another actor because you guys kind of gelled so well?
Yeah, I mean, I think so. I mean, right off the bat, Sydney and I both realized that we were both from Buffalo, which kind of being from the same place kind of bonds you. And getting to know a complete stranger and shoot a movie with them where you're best friends and better yet cousins is difficult. But I don't think it would have been as easy with anyone that wasn't Sydney. We just, like Sydney said, we vibed with each other, and that made the process a lot smoother.
Yeah, it really, really comes across on the screen. I wanted to ask you guys about working with your director. I mean, she's becoming quite a name in kind of indie film. She made her previous film, and that got a lot of great reviews. For you guys in this part of your career, in the early part of your career, how rewarding is it to work with someone like her, who herself is kind of at the start of her fledgling career, and this is kind of a, one of the steps that she hopes to take into maybe bigger and better things. Maybe Talia, I'll start with you on that one.
Yeah, I mean, I cannot wait to see what else Eliza makes. I love her other films and her shorts. It's really cool to kind of get to see someone that is that smart and that's going to do such amazing things kind of near the start of their career. And I feel like it was also just such a blessing to get to work with a female director on our first project, because you just have a different understanding of certain things coming from a girl, and Eliza understood a lot of things that our characters dealt with and the kind of places that we had to channel when we were acting. So it was really great.
Yeah, and so for Sidney, for you, I can imagine it was a similar experience. But obviously, for your character, you're going through these really crazy emotions, and she's kind of very confused and isn't sure what to really do. I mean, to take all those risks, it must have been great to be in the hands of someone like Eliza, who was there for you, to kind of bounce ideas off of and really kind of get into the character and be, as I said, quite brave with what you had to do.
Yeah, working with Eliza was definitely like one of the most gratifying experiences I've ever had. I mean, she was, I think that, you know what I mean, like just as a person in general, and also as like, like this visionary and this creator, she is one hell of a woman. And, when I look at Eliza, like, so, she seems like sort of so calm and cool on the outside, but I feel like inside she's just so on fire and colorful. And she's such a, like, she's just an amazing, like amazingly like talented person, and just to get to be around her, and and she was just so cool, and she was so compassionate and sensitive, and just like really easy to work with. She just made the whole experience so much more just amazing in general. She made it something that was like very memorable, and I really admire her.
Yeah, absolutely. I mean, it's a subject matter that has been the talk of a lot of debate in the US, particularly over the last couple of years, with your president and everything else. I just wondered for you, as young women, whether this experience kind of opened your eyes a little bit more to the subject and what young women are going through with this at the moment, particularly in the last few years. And I just wondered whether you had maybe even more empathy for them than you had before. And you've really kind of learned what they have to kind of go through in this process. Maybe Sidney, I'll start with you with that one.
Yeah, definitely working on this film only, kind of like, that's what I'm looking for. It kind of like definitely like made my passion for the issue stronger, and I definitely learned a lot more like than I already knew. Like there was a lot of things I wasn't aware of before working on this film. Like, I knew there was a controversy surrounding the subject. I knew that there were difficulties and obstacles, but not in so much detail and to the extent that this film kind of offers, like the information that it offers.
Yeah, absolutely. And Talia, for you, I mean, obviously Skylar isn't going through this herself, but she's probably the most important person in this story, in the sense that she's the support system. She's the one that's kind of there, and is the one that, obviously removed from parents and everything else, that she's the one that's really supportive. I mean, was it a case for you where you found out more about not just the women that were going through it, but also their kind of support system, and the women that were always kind of by their side? I mean, was that something that you researched, or was that something that you just kind of trusted that Eliza would tell the story in the right way?
Well, with the support system kind of aspect, I think as a young woman, there's often moments in your life that just wouldn't be possible without another woman by your side. And I know I've experienced those moments, and I think every young woman in America and across the world knows what that's like. And I have younger sisters. I have a younger sister and a younger brother, so I know what that sort of protection is like. And that was kind of what I was able to channel for the role. But as far as the laws in our country, I had an understanding of them. We live in New York State, so the laws are set more in our favor. It's not as difficult as Pennsylvania to obtain a safe abortion, but I didn't realize how many obstacles there truly were in a state that's completely next door to New York. I mean, to if she weren't to travel to New York, she would Autumn would have to stand in front of a judge and state her case and put her decisions in the hands of other people to make, which is absurd to me. There's, which you see in the film, these crisis centers, which completely mislead young women into thinking that abortion isn't an option. And I don't know, I found that really shocking. And like Sidney said, definitely solidified my passion for the subject matter and for being a part of the film.
Yeah, absolutely. Guys, thank you so much for your time today. I know it's very precious, and there's a lot going on. So thank you so much. And I really, really loved the film. So thank you so much for your time, and good luck with it in the UK.
Thank you so much.
Thanks so much. Cheers.
Thank you. Bye.
Ladies and gentlemen, you're watching Hey You Guys!
Hey You Guys, huh?
Hey, you guys.
Is that from the Goonies?
It is indeed, yes.
Nice.